Gentlemen, listen closely. The world doesn't owe you a thing. Nobody is coming to save you. To become a real man, you must decide that you will take full control of your life. Every aspect of it. Weakness has no place here. It starts with your mindset. If you wake up every morning doubting yourself, questioning your worth, or waiting for someone to give you permission, you've already lost. A real man knows he's capable of greatness and acts like it. Confidence isn't arrogance, it's certainty. When you walk into a room, you command it. When you speak, people listen. Not because you ask them to, but because your energy leaves no choice. But confidence alone isn't enough. You need to dominate your environment. You must be the leader, the one others look to for direction. That doesn't happen by accident, it's earned. You don't follow trends, you set them. You don't wait for opportunities, you create them. And that includes the way you handle your time, your space, and the people you allow into your life. Surround yourself with winners and you'll win. Stay around losers and you'll become one of them. Your body is your temple and your weapon. If you're out of shape, you're signaling to the world and to yourself that you lack discipline. A man who can't control what he eats or how often he trains has no business trying to control anything else. Hit the gym, push your limits. Every bead of sweat is proof that you're building not just muscles, but unshakable discipline and resilience. When you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you conquer. And let's talk about money. Without financial power, you're just another pawn in the game. Real men don't rely on others to provide for them. They take responsibility for their own wealth. This isn't about a flashy lifestyle. It's about freedom. Freedom to live life on your terms, to say yes to opportunities and no to nonsense. Stop spending mindlessly and start investing intelligently. Learn how money works and make it work for you. Life isn't going to hand you success on a silver platter. It's not supposed to. Growth comes from risk, from stepping outside your comfort zone, and from embracing challenges. Safety and comfort are traps designed to keep you weak. The man who takes risks, who fails and gets back up, is the man who wins in the end. You have to want success so badly that you're willing to walk through fire to get it. And as you walk through that fire, master how you speak, how you move, and how you carry yourself. Your words have power. They can inspire, intimidate, or influence. Use them wisely. Hold your head high, shoulders back, and eyes forward. People don't just hear you, they feel your presence. A real man doesn't need to demand respect. He earns it effortlessly. Excuses are the language of the weak. The real man takes full responsibility for his life, even for things that aren't his fault. Why? Because blaming others gives them power over you. When you own your failures, you also own the ability to fix them. A real man doesn't cry about life being unfair. He accepts it, adjusts, and conquers anyway. Finally, be brutally honest with yourself. Stop lying about why you're not where you want to be. Look in the mirror and confront your flaws, then work on them relentlessly. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Every day, wake up with the intention of being better than you were yesterday. That's what separates the boys from the men. You have one life. How you live it is entirely up to you. The world respects strength, confidence, and unrelenting willpower. Be the man who commands that respect. Be the man who refuses to settle for mediocrity. Be the man who takes control and never lets go. The time to start is now. Gentlemen, the world around you is not static. It's a dynamic arena, and within it, you are either the predator or the prey. To become a real man, you must take charge of your environment. Every space you occupy, every relationship you maintain, and every opportunity you seize must fall under your control. Understand this. The man who hesitates to take ownership of his surroundings is the man who will be ruled by them. You must assert yourself as the dominant force in your environment, or someone else will. This isn't about shouting louder or imposing yourself recklessly. True dominance is quiet, calculated, and undeniable. It starts with mastering the way you manage your time. Time is the ultimate currency, and wasting it is a crime against yourself. If you spend your days scrolling through meaningless distractions, hanging around with unmotivated people, or simply waiting for life to happen, you've already lost. A real man plans his day with precision. He wakes up with purpose, knowing exactly what he wants to achieve and how he will achieve it. Take stock of your surroundings. Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? If your environment is filled with negativity, laziness, or mediocrity, you must either transform it or remove yourself from it entirely. There's no room for half measures. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Your circle should push you to be better, not enable your weaknesses. If the people in your life aren't aligning with your goals, you need to make hard decisions. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but comfort doesn't create progress. A man in control of his environment doesn't wait for permission to lead. He identifies what needs to be done and does it. He doesn't follow trends, he sets them. When others hesitate, he acts. Leadership isn't about titles or recognition. It's about influence and initiative. Wherever you go, make your presence felt. Your actions should inspire confidence and trust in those around you. People should look to you for guidance, not because you demand it, but because you've earned it through consistency and results. Physical control of your environment matters too. Keep your space clean and organized. Your surroundings reflect your mind, and chaos breeds chaos. If you can't manage the small things, like the condition of your home or workspace, how can you expect to manage larger responsibilities? Attention to detail isn't just a skill, it's a statement about how seriously you take your life. Lastly, dominate opportunities. Don't wait for them to come to you, create them. The man who hesitates to act loses out to the man who boldly takes risks. When you see a chance to better yourself, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, grab it with both hands. Stop overthinking, stop doubting, and start executing. A real man doesn't sit on the sidelines hoping for the perfect moment. He steps into the game and makes his moment perfect. Control your environment or it will control you. There is no middle ground. Take charge of your life, take charge of your space, and take charge of your destiny. This is what separates the average from the exceptional, the weak from the strong. Be the man who commands respect because he commands himself and everything around him. The world doesn't wait for anyone. Make your move and make it count. Physical excellence is non-negotiable. Your body is not just the vessel that carries you through life. It's the ultimate tool for dominance, discipline, and respect. A man who neglects his body signals to the world that he lacks control over himself. How can anyone expect to lead others, conquer challenges, or command respect if he can't even manage his own physical state? Fitness is not about vanity, it's about power. When you look strong, you feel strong, and that strength extends far beyond the gym. It influences your mind, your decisions, and the way the world perceives you. Building physical excellence starts with discipline. It's not about waking up one day and deciding to hit the gym because you feel motivated. Motivation is fleeting, discipline is eternal. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you're tired. Discipline is what pushes you to do one more rep when your muscles are screaming for rest. Discipline is what drives you to choose nutrient-rich foods over junk that only serves to weaken you. The body you create is the ultimate reflection of the discipline you cultivate. When you train your body, you're training your mind. Every time you push past your limits, every time you endure the pain and keep going, you're rewiring your brain to embrace challenge and overcome adversity. Life will throw obstacles in your way, and if you're used to quitting when things get tough, you'll never win. The gym is your proving ground, the place where you test your resilience and prove to yourself that you're capable of more. It's where excuses die and results are born. Understand this. Your physical state influences everything about you. When you're strong and fit, you exude confidence. Your posture improves, your movements are deliberate, and your presence commands attention. People notice and they respond. Whether you're walking into a boardroom, a social gathering, or a confrontation, your physicality speaks volumes before you even open your mouth. Strength isn't just a tool, it's a language. But physical excellence isn't just about aesthetics or presence. It's about capability. Can you defend yourself if needed? Can you endure physically demanding situations? Can you protect the people you care about? These aren't hypothetical questions, they're real-life scenarios. A man who is physically weak is vulnerable, not just to physical threats, but to the slow decay of his own health and vitality. There's no shortcut to physical excellence. Pills, quick fix diets, and half-hearted efforts won't cut it. You must embrace the grind. Lift heavy, run fast, push hard, and recover smart. This isn't a temporary phase or a hobby, it's a lifelong commitment. Every drop of sweat, every ache, every sore muscle is a step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. And let's not forget the mental clarity that comes with physical fitness. When you train consistently, your body rewards you with energy and focus. You think sharper, act faster, and feel more in control of your life. Contrast that with the sluggishness and apathy of someone who neglects their health. The difference is night and day. Physical excellence also teaches you humility. No matter how strong or fit you are, there's always room to grow. There's always someone stronger, faster, or more skilled. Instead of resenting that, use it as fuel to keep improving. The moment you think you've reached your peak is the moment you start to decline. Real men don't settle. They evolve. Your body is your responsibility. No one else can do the work for you. If you're not satisfied with the way you look or feel, the solution is simple: get to work. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you start and that you stay consistent. Excellence isn't achieved overnight. But every day of effort compounds into a lifetime of strength and resilience. In the end, your body is your weapon, your armor, and your statement to the world. It tells people who you are before you say a word. Build it with care, protect it fiercely, and never stop improving it. Physical excellence isn't optional. It's your foundation for everything else in life. Money is a tool, not a goal. The pursuit of wealth isn't about the cars, the houses, or the lifestyle. It's about freedom. Financial sovereignty means you control your destiny. You answer to no one, rely on no one, and owe nothing to anyone. A real man understands that without financial independence, he's shackled. He's at the mercy of his employer, his creditors, or worse, his circumstances. To be truly free, you must master your finances. The first step is recognizing that no one is coming to save you. If you think the government, your family, or some miracle will make you rich, you're living in a fantasy. Wealth is earned through relentless effort, strategy, and discipline. Stop waiting for opportunities to fall into your lap. Seek them out. Create them. The world is full of ways to make money, but only for those who are willing to put in the work. Start by learning the game. Money follows rules, and if you don't know them, you'll always lose. Understand the basics of finances: saving, investing, and compounding. Learn how to manage your income so that it grows instead of dwindles. Stop wasting money on things that depreciate and start investing in assets that appreciate. This isn't just about stocks or real estate. It's about investing in yourself. The best asset you can ever own is your knowledge and skill set. Financial sovereignty requires sacrifice. You can't spend like the average person and expect above average results. That means cutting out unnecessary expenses, delaying gratification, and focusing on long-term gains. The guy who spends every paycheck trying to look rich is the one who stays broke. The man who saves, invests, and reinvests is the one who builds true wealth. Be smart with your money. Make every dollar a soldier in your army of financial freedom. Diversify your income. One source of money is never enough. Jobs can be lost, industries can change, and markets can crash. A real man doesn't put all his eggs in one basket. Build multiple streams of income, whether it's through side hustles, businesses, investments, or royalties. The goal is to have money flowing in from different directions so that you're never at the mercy of one single source. This isn't just about security, it's about opportunity. When you're financially stable, you can take calculated risks that lead to even greater rewards. Debt is the enemy of freedom. If you owe money, someone else has power over you. Get rid of unnecessary debts as fast as possible, but don't fear leveraging good debt, money that's used to build assets or generate income. The difference between a liability and an asset is simple. Liabilities take money out of your pocket, assets put money into it. Learn to tell the difference and act accordingly. Financial sovereignty also means knowing your worth and demanding it. If you're underpaid, it's not just your employer's fault, it's yours for accepting it. Improve your skills, increase your value, and don't be afraid to ask for what you deserve. The market pays for results, not effort. If you're not delivering value, you're replaceable. Make yourself indispensable by mastering your craft and exceeding expectations in everything you do. And don't just work for money. Make money work for you. Every dollar you earn should be a tool to earn more. This is the power of investing. Whether it's in businesses, real estate, or stocks, the goal is to put your money into vehicles that grow without your constant input. Passive income isn't just a dream, it's a strategy, but it requires patience and discipline. The man who plants seeds today reaps a harvest tomorrow. Charity has its place, but remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Build your wealth first, secure your future, and then give back. Helping others is noble, but financial sovereignty starts with taking care of yourself. When you're financially strong, you're in a better position to uplift others. Finally, never let money control you. The pursuit of wealth should never compromise your integrity or principles. Money is a tool to enhance your life, not define it. The man who chases money for its own sake ends up empty. The man who uses money to create freedom, security, and opportunities lives a life of purpose. Mastering your finances isn't optional. It's the foundation of independence, power, and respect. Without it, you're a pawn in someone else's game. With it, you're the master of your destiny. Start now, stay relentless, and never stop building. Financial sovereignty is not just a goal, it's your birthright. Take it. Comfort is a trap, a seductive illusion that lulls men into mediocrity. It whispers lies that keep you stagnant, telling you that safety is the ultimate goal. But growth never happens in the comfort zone. To become a real man, you must reject comfort and embrace risk. It's not optional, it's the price you pay for evolution, for power, and for success. Without risk, there's no reward, and without discomfort, there's no growth. Risk is the proving ground for character. It's where you discover what you're made of, where you confront fear, uncertainty, and failure. A man who avoids risk is a man who avoids life. Playing it safe might keep you secure, but it will never make you great. Greatness requires boldness, the willingness to step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that failure is a possibility, but success is a reward worth chasing. The world doesn't reward caution, it rewards action. The man who hesitates, who overanalyzes, who waits for the perfect moment will always be left behind by the man who moves forward despite the risks. Life isn't going to hand you opportunities on a silver platter. It's going to test you, challenge you, and force you to take chances. The question is, are you ready to answer the call? Or will you shrink back into the false safety of comfort? Understand this, every risk you take is a chance to grow. Whether you succeed or fail, the act of stepping into the unknown strengthens you. Success builds confidence, and failure builds resilience. Both are essential. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone toward it. The man who fears failure fears growth, and the man who fears growth fears life itself. Comfort is the enemy because it breeds complacency. It makes you soft, lazy, and entitled. It tricks you into thinking that what you have is enough when, deep down, you know you're capable of more. Comfort kills ambition. It makes you settle for less than you deserve, less than you're capable of achieving. To reject comfort is to declare war on mediocrity. It's a commitment to constantly push yourself, to face challenges head on, and to never stop improving. Taking risks doesn't mean acting recklessly. It means taking calculated risks, evaluating the potential rewards against the possible downsides, and making bold moves with purpose. It means trusting your instincts and your ability to adapt and overcome no matter what happens. It's not about being fearless, it's about acting despite your fears. Fear is natural, but letting it control you is a choice that weak men make. Risk and discomfort also force you to adapt. When you're comfortable, you stop growing because there's no pressure to change. But when you take risks, when you throw yourself into the deep end, you have no choice but to rise to the occasion. That's where innovation happens. That's where you discover strengths you never knew you had. That's where you separate yourself from the crowd. Think about the greatest moments of your life. Were they born from comfort, or were they born from stepping into the unknown, facing challenges, and overcoming them? The best things in life come from taking risks, starting a business, pursuing your passion, approaching someone you're interested in, traveling to new places, or standing up for what you believe in. None of these things happen without courage, without stepping out of the comfort zone. And here's the truth. Comfort isn't even as safe as it seems. The world is constantly changing, and if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. The man who clings to comfort will eventually find himself unprepared for the inevitable challenges life throws his way. The man who embraces risk, on the other hand, is always ready, always evolving, always growing. He thrives in chaos because he's trained himself to adapt and overcome. So reject comfort. Embrace the uncertainty, the challenges, the fear of the unknown. Take risks, fail, learn, and try again. Push yourself further than you ever thought possible. Comfort may feel good in the moment, but it leads nowhere. Risk may feel uncomfortable, but it leads to greatness. And isn't greatness what we're all after? Be the man who isn't afraid to take the leap. The man who thrives in discomfort. The man who knows that the only thing worse than failing is never trying at all. Mastering communication and charisma is one of the most powerful skills a man can possess. Your words and the way you present yourself have the ability to influence, inspire, and command respect. A real man knows that his presence speaks before his words ever do, and his words are a weapon as sharp as any blade. Communication is not just about talking, it's about impact. The way you express yourself can change the course of conversations, relationships, and opportunities. To command respect, your tone must be firm and decisive. Weak, uncertain language reflects a weak, uncertain mind. If you don't believe in your own words, why should anyone else? Speak with clarity and confidence. Pause when necessary. Own the silence between your words. It's in that silence that your power is truly felt. Avoid rambling or filling the air with unnecessary noise. Every word you say should have weight. Charisma is not just about what you say, but how you make people feel. The ability to connect with others, to make them feel seen and understood, is a rare and valuable trait. Eye contact is essential. It shows you're fully present and engaged. Hold your gaze, but don't make it a stare down. There's a balance between intensity and approachability, and you must master it. Your body language should exude confidence. Stand tall, shoulders back, and chest forward. Every gesture, every move you make should reflect control and intention. Listening is as crucial as speaking. Too many men mistake talking for communicating. Real communication is a two-way street. When you listen, you learn, you gather information, assess the situation, and respond intelligently. Listening also builds trust and rapport. People respect the man who gives them his full attention because it shows value and presence. When you speak after truly listening, your words carry far more weight because they're rooted in understanding. Charisma isn't just about being loud or the center of attention. It's about magnetism, drawing people to you effortlessly. That comes from authenticity. People can sense when you're faking it, and nothing destroys charisma faster than inauthenticity. Be genuine in your intentions and confident in who you are. Charismatic men don't try to fit in. They make others want to fit around them. Your voice is one of your most powerful tools. Practice using it effectively. Speak from your diaphragm, not your throat. A deep, resonant voice naturally commands attention. Vary your tone to emphasize key points and maintain interest. Monotone delivery kills energy and focus. Remember, it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Another aspect of charisma is storytelling. The ability to tell a compelling story can captivate any audience, whether it's one person or 1,000. Learn to structure your stories in a way that builds intrigue and delivers impact. Paint pictures with your words, evoke emotions, and tie it back to a meaningful point. A good story doesn't just entertain, it inspires action and creates a connection. Charisma also means being unshaken under pressure. The ability to remain calm, composed, and articulate intense situations is a mark of true leadership. When others lose their cool, you stay steady. This is where your control over emotions plays a key role. A man who can keep his emotions in check and respond rationally, even in heated moments, is a man who commands respect. Finally, understand the power of humor and charm. A well-timed joke or a lighthearted comment can disarm tension and make you more approachable. Humor shows intelligence and social awareness when used appropriately. However, it must be natural. Forced humor comes across as desperate, and desperation is the enemy of charisma. Charm isn't about manipulation, it's about making people feel good in your presence. Mastering communication and charisma is a lifelong process, but it pays dividends in every area of your life. From relationships to business, your ability to connect, influence, and inspire will set you apart from the crowd. A real man isn't just heard, he's felt. His words leave an impact, his presence is unforgettable, and his ability to communicate makes him unstoppable. Rejecting victim mentality is not just a mindset shift, it's a declaration of independence. It's about taking full ownership of your life, your choices, and your circumstances. A man who sees himself as a victim is a man who has surrendered his power. When you blame others, circumstances, or the universe for your problems, you're handing over control of your life to forces beyond your influence. That's the mindset of the week. A real man owns his story, every failure, every setback, every mistake. The first step to rejecting victim mentality is accountability. Look in the mirror and realize that everything in your life, good or bad, is a result of your choices and actions. Even the things that seem unfair, the events you couldn't control, your reaction to them was yours. This is not about self-blame, it's about self-empowerment. When you take responsibility for your life, you give yourself the power to change it. Blaming others might feel good in the moment, but it achieves nothing. Ownership, on the other hand, opens the door to solutions. Victim mentality thrives on excuses. I didn't get the job because the system is rigged. I can't succeed because the odds are stacked against me. These excuses might even hold some truth, but they're irrelevant. The world doesn't care about excuses, and neither should you. Life is hard. It's hard for everyone in different ways. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of hardship. It's the refusal to let hardship define them. When you reject victim mentality, you start seeing challenges as opportunities. Every setback becomes a chance to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. Failure is no longer something to fear. It's something to embrace as part of the process. The man who never fails is the man who never tries. The man who overcomes failure is the man who thrives. Adopting a mindset of ownership also changes how you approach your goals. When you take full responsibility for your outcomes, you stop waiting for the perfect conditions. You stop waiting for others to support you, for opportunities to magically appear, or for luck to turn in your favor. You realize that your success is entirely up to you. This is where real power lies, in the understanding that no one is coming to save you, and that's okay because you don't need saving. Victim mentality is seductive because it offers comfort. It tells you that your struggles aren't your fault, that you're not to blame. But that comfort is poison. It keeps you stagnant, waiting for a solution that will never come. Rejecting victim mentality means stepping out of that comfort and into the discomfort of accountability. It's not easy, but nothing worth having ever is. When you free yourself from victim mentality, you also free yourself from resentment. Blaming others creates anger and bitterness, which only hold you back. Let go of that. Focus on what you can control. your attitude, your actions, and your effort. Stop worrying about what others have done to you and start focusing on what you can do for yourself. This mindset shift also impacts how others perceive you. No one respects a man who constantly complains or plays the victim, but a man who takes responsibility for his life, who faces challenges head-on and doesn't shy away from accountability, earns respect naturally. People gravitate toward those who exude strength, resilience, and self-reliance. Rejecting victim mentality doesn't mean ignoring injustice or pretending problems don't exist. It means refusing to let those problems define you. It means taking what you've been given, no matter how unfair it seems, and turning it into something powerful. Life isn't about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens to you. Every time you find yourself tempted to blame someone else or feel sorry for yourself, stop. Ask yourself what you can do to change the situation. Even if the answer isn't immediately clear, the act of searching for a solution shifts your mindset from passive to active. This is where growth happens. This is where strength is built. Victim mentality is a cage, but the key to escape has always been in your hands. Use it. Take responsibility for your life, take control of your story, and never let circumstances dictate your destiny. This is how you reclaim your power. This is how you rise above. This is how you become unstoppable. Being ruthlessly honest and accountable is not just a principle, it's a cornerstone of becoming a real man. It means stripping away the lies you tell yourself and others, facing the unvarnished truth about who you are, and taking full ownership of your actions and decisions. Honesty begins with yourself. You cannot improve what you refuse to acknowledge. Too many men live in denial, clinging to comforting illusions about their abilities, their circumstances, or their efforts. But denial is a trap, and the truth, no matter how harsh, is your way out. When you're ruthlessly honest, you see yourself clearly. You admit your flaws, your mistakes, and your shortcomings without excuse. You stop blaming external factors for your failures and start looking inward. Accountability follows this honesty. It's the ability to say, this is my life, and I am responsible for it. It's not about self-punishment, it's about self-empowerment. The moment you take full accountability is the moment you take control. You stop waiting for others to fix your problems and start solving them yourself. Being ruthlessly honest also extends to your relationships with others. A real man doesn't sugarcoat his words or shy away from uncomfortable truths. He speaks with integrity, even when it's difficult, because he values truth over approval. This doesn't mean being cruel or tactless. It means refusing to compromise on honesty for the sake of convenience or fleeting harmony. People may not always like what you have to say, but they will respect you for saying it. Respect is built on trust, and trust is built on honesty. Accountability means owning your mistakes, not just to yourself, but to others. When you mess up, admit it. Don't deflect, don't justify, and don't blame. Apologize sincerely and make amends if necessary. A man who can own his failures is a man who commands respect. Weak men hide from their mistakes. Strong men face them, learn from them, and grow stronger as a result. Every failure is a lesson, but only if you have the courage to accept it. Being ruthlessly honest also means setting high standards for yourself and holding yourself to them. Mediocrity is the result of leniency. If you let yourself slide, if you accept less than your best, you're setting yourself up for failure. Be brutally honest about your performance, your habits, and your effort. Are you truly giving your all, or are you coasting? Are you living up to your potential, or are you settling for less? These are uncomfortable questions, but they're necessary. This level of honesty and accountability is not easy. It requires constant vigilance, discipline, and courage. It's far easier to lie to yourself, to blame others, to make excuses, but easy never leads to greatness. Greatness comes from facing the hard truths, from demanding the best of yourself, and from refusing to settle for anything less. When you live by this principle, you become unstoppable. You gain clarity because you're no longer clouded by excuses or denial. You gain strength because you're no longer weakened by lies. And you gain respect from yourself and from others, because honesty and accountability are rare and valuable traits. The world needs men who are willing to be ruthlessly honest and accountable. Men who don't shy away from their responsibilities, who don't run from their mistakes, and who don't compromise their integrity. Be that man. Hold yourself to the highest standards. Demand the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Take full ownership of your life, your actions, and your results. This is what it means to be a real man. This is how you build a life of purpose, power, and respect. In the end, becoming a real man is about mastering yourself and taking full responsibility for your life. It's about rejecting mediocrity, embracing discomfort, and striving relentlessly for greatness. A real man refuses to settle, refuses to make excuses, and refuses to be a victim. He takes risks, holds himself accountable, and remains steadfast in his pursuit of excellence. A real man is defined by his actions, not his words, and by his ability to overcome, adapt, and grow. He understands that the world owes him nothing, and that his success depends entirely on his efforts, his discipline, and his unshakable belief in himself. He leads with purpose, speaks with conviction, and stands firm in his values, even when it's difficult. This journey isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. But that's the point. The challenges you face, the risks you take, and the standards you uphold will forge you into a man who commands respect, inspires others, and lives a life of fulfillment. The choice is yours. Will you settle for mediocrity, or will you step up and take your place as a real man? The world is waiting. Now it's your time to lead.